Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video on another Tapped Out Costumes ranked thing. Now, I know in the Discord people voted for Millhouse, but they voted for Millhouse before the Van Houten update came out, and obviously we're getting two costumes for Millhouse. Now, I've played through one of them, but I haven't played through the other, so I had two choices. Either I do the thing that was second voted most for, or I wait for the second Millhouse costume to release. So I decided, instead, I feel like you guys would rather have the Krusty episode first, and then we'll do Millhouse next week, sometime next week or the week after. We'll do Millhouse. We will get to Millhouse. I will prioritize Millhouse next, but I do want to have his new costume first before I rank his costumes, because I don't want to just assume that the costume's good or bad or meh. I actually want to play through it and get my hard opinions there. So we're going to be doing Krusty instead. I hope everyone's cool with that. So Krusty has a total of 7 costumes, quite a few costumes. So we're going to be going through them from worst to best. I'll talk about them and kind of talk why I've put them in this certain place, and then after, you guys can tell me why I'm wrong in the comments. So let's start off with going to the worst of Krusty's costumes. Tuxedo Krusty. So I'm not a fan of this one. I don't think any of Krusty's costumes are terrible. I'm not a massive fan of this one. It's just, there's just nothing special to it to me. It's just Krusty in a suit. His two animations, Strut Around Town and Rehearser Mini Ha Ha, are just kind of bland and there's nothing to them. There's nothing really funky or crazy about those animations. They're just kind of bland. The Tuxedo Krusty in itself, the actual look of it, it's just, to me, again, like I said, it's just Krusty in a suit. There's nothing special about it. I mean, his face is the same as his actual face, and it's just a suit. In terms of the price, he was originally free in the Clown in the Dumps. Then he came back as 60 donuts in the Burns Casino, County Fair, and Itchy and Scratchy Land. And then also you can get him for 30 donuts in the Yearbook, and he also came back for 20 donuts in the Thanksgiving 2018 and the All-American Auction. So a different range of prices, but I certainly don't think he was worth 60 donuts. I think probably the most I would want to pay for this is probably 45. I just don't think there's much there. So I think the price is a little bit of a but the fact that it's just kind of bland to me is the reason why I'm ranking it as the worst. So that is the worst in my opinion. Tuxedo Krusty. Moving on. Krustcraft Krusty. So this is the second most recent costume for Krusty that we've got. So this was originally free in the Game of Games event. Of course, it has two animations, the handout downloadable content and regret going indie. I think both of them are okay animations. They're the actual costume itself, I think, looks decent. It's not terrible, although I don't think it's great. It's just kind of, it reminds me too much of the Clash of crap event. I don't like it. I think the questline for this one wasn't great either. I just think overall the costume is just, again, a bit bland. Nothing too interesting about it, in my opinion. Yes, it was originally free. Obviously, we don't know if it's going to be re-added in future updates. Obviously, it wasn't re-added in the Game of Games 2, which is kind of disappointing for players who didn't get to play Game of Games. But yeah, overall, I just don't think it's an amazing costume. It's okay, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Krusty the Christian. So initially, I actually put this higher, but I decided that the costume that was meant to be here is a little bit better than this one, purely because of the price. So Krusty the Christian was added for 150 donuts with the Evil Candy Cave. I really wanted to knock it down for the Evil Candy Cave, but to be fair, the Evil Candy Cave is obviously, I want to separate the costume from the building it comes with, or the decoration it comes with, or the event it was from, or the year it was, or I want to separate these things, or the episode it's from. I'm trying my best to separate that stuff. So, but the price is certainly has to be noted. Now, it comes with the Evil Candy Cave, which I don't think is that great of a building, and I think this is where I'm I'm gonna have to take the building into consideration, because when it comes with a combo, it's to try and estimate the value of the costume, I also need to estimate the value of the building. Now, the building for me is 40 donuts at the most, maybe. I mean, it earns cash, which is decent, so 40 donuts at the most. the Krusty costume is maybe worth 60 donuts at the most. That's what, 100 donuts, yeah. So 60, 100, like, so it should be 100 donuts, really. A costume in a cruddy building, and a costume and a decoration should be even less than that, really. But this building is very cruddy, and the costume is not great, and I just think 50 donuts overpriced. Personally, I really believe that. So I think for that reason I have to knock it down a few points. But I do think it's a decent costume. It's got its unique voice. It's got Have Communion. It's got Sober Contemplation House. Two really cool animations, Have Communion and the Sober Contemplation House. But the unique voice stuff is really cool too. So although it's not like a perfect costume, I do think it's fairly decent. I just think the price really kind of kills it a little bit. So that's why I'm putting the Krusty the Christian here. So moving on to what originally was my third worst, now my fourth worst or something best. Number 36. Hey, a Stone Cold costume that wasn't last. So the reason why I'm putting this above the other two costumes is because it's a really good Stone Cold costume overall, I would say. Now, I would say that this one is very close to Homer's in terms of which one is, in terms of good Stone Cold costumes. This one is quite close to Homer's costume. Now, yeah, the look of it, it's not that amazing. It's like every other Stone Cold, so yeah, that's true. I think the benefit of getting this one is obviously you want to try and collect all the Stone Cold costumes, so there's a benefit to getting it. The main reason why I'm putting this one so high, though, is it was originally free in the Stone Cutters event, and then it was re-added in the Stone Cutters Black Market sale. The book stops here, and Not Yet Spring Cleaning completely for free. So you could have got this costume completely for free if you played those events. Now it also has one animation, Sing the Stone Cutter song, which is a really cool animation. I really wished all the Stone Cutters had that animation, to be honest, but it's good enough that Krusty's got it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, one cool animation, although it's lacking in one animation, that's why I'm not going to put it any higher. It's only got one animation. If it had two animations, I might have put it higher, but it's only got one animation, so I can't put it any higher. But yeah, it's certainly not a terrible costume. Has some good stuff in it. So yeah. Opera Krusty. So Opera Krusty is pretty damn cool looking. I love the kind of classic, almost dunce opera look view of Krusty. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But of course, this is from the Sideshow Bob episode with his family when he was in Italy. I remember it quite well. I think the costume itself is very, very cool. It was fittingly added in the Terwilliger event. Obviously, he appeared in a Sideshow Bob episode, so it makes sense. He was re-added in Homerpalooza for 50 donuts, which I think is reasonable. And then he was added 20 donuts in the Thanksgiving and All American Auction, and also he was added to the yearbook. So fairly decent. So he's got two animations, Practice Singing, which is kind of to be expected, and Punch Up on Classic Opera, which again is kind of an expected animation. Nothing too crazy in terms of his animations, nothing too amazing, but I do think the costume looks cool. I think obviously he's got, does he have the unique voice, or I'm thinking of the stage that has the little "We are out of Rice Krispies," no, overall, I think this costume is very decent. Looks awesome. It's got some cool animations, and it was originally free, so plenty of decent things to elevate it as a good costume. So yeah, moving on. Coat of Fox's Krusty. I don't know. There's something about this one. It's just so cruel and horrible. So he's got a bunch of dead foxes on his well, I don't know, some of them aren't dead, I guess, but he's got a bunch of it's just him in his normal wear with just a bunch of foxes on him. I don't know if it was meant to be a parody of like the Lady Gaga outfits. I'm not even sure. So I think this came out, this appeared in a really, really early episode, but it was originally added in the Thanksgiving Gone to the Birds, then it was re-added in Thanksgiving 2018, and also All American Auction for 50 donuts. So I would say that is fairly reasonable. It was added in Thanksgiving 2018 for 20 donuts in the mystery box, and it was also added in the yearbook for 30 donuts. So it is a costume that has consistently been donuts. However, I would say that none of the prices were unreasonable. Now, he has two pretty decent animations, Feed the Fur, which is funny as hell, and Be More Exotic, which is also pretty decent. Two awesome animations. He looks so happy, but it's so cruel and disgusting what he's doing. I don't know. It's something about it. It's just it's comedy. The actual view of the costume in itself is a joke. So like, the costume is kind of comedic in that sense, and I think those costumes are very decent. So yeah, I definitely think this deserves the number 2 spot as the second best Krusty costume for sure. This is just it's just hilariously cruel. So yeah, that's Code of Krusties. But anyway, we must have a number 1. Can we have that drum roll? Number 1 is Clownface. So, Clownface. This is, of course, Krusty's evil supervillain costume, if you will. So this was obviously originally added in the Superheroes event, which you could get it for as a prize. It was an issue 1 prize, and then it was re-added in the Superheroes 2 completely for free. So you just unlocked it when you started the quest line, which is very awesome. That is always a great thing. I like it when they add stuff for free. I mean, I don't knock things down unless the price is unreasonable for stuff that is premium, but certainly the fact that it's free and it was added multiple times is a plus. Now, on top of that, it looks awesome. How can you not think this looks cool? This is just so typical for a clown-like villain. Obviously, this was from the episode where they did the whole Batman, where like Krusty did a crossover with Batman and Robin, right? So that's kind of like, it's great because it's so, that's as superhero as you can get. And then you have awesome animations. Check Krusty brand merchandise, which is probably the least best of the animations, but it's still okay. Train for Future Conflict, which is really funny, and Rob the Bank, which is also brilliant. Obviously, that's at the National Bank of Springfield. Yeah, 3 great animations. It looks awesome. It, you know, it was free multiple times. That is everything I want in a costume. So I think Clownface deserves the number 1 spot by far, and it takes that number 1 spot with pride. So that is it for my Krusty costumes. Tell me what do you reckon I should do with the whole Milhouse situation. So I am going to wait for the other costume to release, but if I'm trying to think, I don't know, like I could do Flanders before I do Milhouse. I'm still not sure, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. And you guys tell me what you think I should do, and then I'll probably make the decision by myself, but who knows. But anyway, that is all of Krusty's costumes ranked. Tell me if you agreed, tell me where I am wrong, like I said, and yeah. So thanks for watching as always, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, goodbye.